All right, y'all. So this might be my farewell pick. This might be my farewell pick for Amanda Lemos. I think I'm gonna go with Amanda Lemos in this one. I'm starting right off, just with my pick here because this is a fight I'm not really sure on because it's one of those meet in the middle type of situations. We got Amanda Lemos, who's kind of teetering between almost losing it now. 37 years old. She's been in some wars, and there's still some problems there, with her making the right choices, making adjustments in there. Then you got a man, Iasmine Lucindo, who's young, who's climbing the ladder, but I didn't really like how she looked in her last fight. I did pick her to beat Marina Rodriguez last time. I did feel like she was gonna get the edge in that fight, but what I saw in that fight, I'm thinking that if it carries over into this one, it might play more into Amanda Lemos' style. I've seen it a lot of times in boxing where certain fighters continue to edge it out. They keep getting these close decisions and they're not fixing those little problems. And then when they step in there with somebody with like thunderous power or somebody that's just hungrier, they wind up getting beat, right? And I kind of think this one might play out that way, where Amanda Lemos may have just enough to still beat somebody on this level. Because if you look at Amanda Lemos's record, like she's mostly lost to the hungrier, better fighters. Whether it's Verna Jandaroba, of course, and the champion, right? She's had a close fight with Angela Hill, I know, but other than that, she's been able to still like rise to the occasion against some of these young up and comers and just some of the average fighters. I think going into this fight here, Amanda Lemos is going to have to really focus on, like I said in the past, setting traps. She's got to set some traps with her hands. Like she can't just focus on swinging for the fences. There's got to be a rhythm with her punches. She's got to start throwing like different types of speeds of punch, a different speed of punches, and setting that right hand up. We know she has power, but it has to be set up. Uh, I saw Marina Rodriguez hit Iasmine Lucindo with some hard right hands in that fight and kind of buckle her. So Lucindo's next thing was to go to the ground. So in that aspect, I see a smart fighter in Lucindo. But if Lemos's takedown defense is on point and she's expecting that, or if she does rock Lucindo, she gets her out of there. She won't have to worry about that. But yeah, I don't know, man. This could be Lucindo's time where she's just improved from the last fight, and she's trying to say, all right, that last fight was a mistake. I know I did a lot of holding in that one, but I think it's really going to be interesting on the ground too. Like, is Lucindo just going to look to hold? Is Lemos going to just accept bottom position like Marina did? I highly doubt it. I think Marina, you know, that's just her thing. But Lemos does have a better ground game. She was just in there with better grapplers in the past, like Verna, and stronger wrestlers like Wei Lee. So um, I think that Lemos, for the most part, if she can put pressure and get the respect early of Lucindo, she could go in there and probably win this thing, either by decision or finish in this one. Because I'm going back and just looking at how Iasmine Lucindo fights too. She still gets hit, and you can't draw her into a war. And the punches she's eaten from like Marina and Yasmin in the past, I don't think you can eat that many bombs from like Lemos like that. So this style might play more into that. I don't know. There's so many different ways I can see this playing out. I can see Lucindo working on the ground, even staying on the outside long enough to take away the power of Lemos, using body kicks, because, she does use a lot of good kicks, kick variety. I think Lucindo could work the legs, go to the body here, and then make Lemos miss, take her down, and ride out some, rounds, just by kind of holding. But Lemos, I think her thing is going to have to be busy work, and looking for the reckless moment where she can get a submission on Lucindo. Like, say if Lucindo dives in, drops a level, she can lock in a guillotine. So there's still a submission threat there with Lemos. It's usually not by her just setting it up purely. It's usually by the mistakes of her opponent. So if the younger fighter here is reckless, I can see Lemos getting the submission. So yeah, just so many different ways this one plays out because of the way they both fight and how their last performances look. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Lemos one more time here, because like I said, I'm still a fan of Lemos, and I think she still has enough here. But I really wouldn't be surprised if Lucindo pulled out like a decision here. But I'm gonna go with Lemos either by decision or finish. When I say finish, it could be on the feet, could be a submission at a reckless moment. But yeah, what do y'all think? Let me know in the comment section. Combo Breaker 99. I'm out. Subscribe. Peace.